So yesterday we talked about Christian Concern, and we're going back to them today because this is one of these groups where when you first find out about them, you're like, okay, and then you start to dig a little bit deeper beneath the surface and you start to find so much stuff about them, it's unbelievable. So obviously Alfie Evans died, well, he died yesterday, whereas at the time I'm doing this, but obviously this is a couple of weeks since that. But literally, this is one of the news stories I found. It's from yesterday, so it's from the 26th of April. So, anti-LGBT fundamentalist group hijacked the tragic case of Alfie Evans. A senior judge has expressed concern about the fanatical and deluded anti-LGBT Christian activists who are now at the centre of a very public legal battle about a dying child. Doctors at Alderhayes Children's Hospital in Liverpool made the decision to withdraw life support from a seriously ill 23-month-old Alfie Evans after concluding that there is little chance of treatment. However, the case has been swept up in a high-profile legal battle after the boy's parents sought an order to allow them to take him abroad for treatment against what medical experts say are his best interests. In the High Court, a High Court judge this week expressed concerns that parents Tom Evans and Kate Jackins are being exploited by representatives from Christian Legal Centre. Christian Legal Centre is the legal wing of the evangelical Christian group Christian Concern, which has strongly lobbied against LGBT rights in the UK for decades. The group has opposed partnership rights for same-sex couples, opposed moves to ban gay cure therapy, and claimed that sex education in schools is used to bring in indoctrination about homosexuality and transgenderism. Meanwhile, the Christian Legal Centre has defended a string of pro bono clients accused of discriminating against gay people or accused of homophobic hate speech, as well as representing a family who wanted to force their transgender teenage son to undergo treatment for gender confusion. The activists with extreme beliefs were referenced by Mr. Justice Hayden, who described the Christian Legal Centre advocate, Pale Stravono, I think that's how you say his name, as a fanatically deluded young man. The judge accused the activists of doing the parents far more harm than it does them good, and described their submissions of being littered with bile and hatred. He also challenged the starting proposition in the group's submission that Alfie's best interests are irrelevant, and compared to the wishes of his parents. The family's former lawyer, Mary Holmes, has also publicly accused the Christian Legal Centre of exploiting Alfie's case. She told The Times, "These people, I don't believe, are in it because they love Alfie. When this case is over, they'll move on to the next, or they'll find some other case they can ride on the back of. I think they just pick on the vulnerable, and they are easy prey. Keep this child alive at any cost, not for the right reasons. It's getting them in the public eye. It's like we've involved. It's like we've got involved. Look at what we've done. We've got an audience with the Pope." Andrew Williams, and the chief executive of the Christian Legal Centre and head of Christian Concern, has described gay people as children of the devil and called for homosexual Christians to repent their sexuality. The Christian Legal Centre chief has also called for schools to promote straight lifestyles to children. Williams said, "As human beings, the Christian teachings say One of us is wonderfully made and that we should embrace one another, but that does not mean we should have to accept in education this idea that all lifestyles are equivalent and that all lifestyles bring equal good. When it comes to teaching children about relationships as young as 7, we need to be promoting this beautiful model of marriage between a man and a woman with children that this constructs. So he said, the idea that we're normalising lifestyles may not be equivalent. She has also called for the LGBT equality laws to be axed after Brexit. Williams said that the vote for Brexit on the 23rd of June was a protest vote. A vote to leave was a vote to reassert our foundation principle of democratic accountability. It is our job to ensure that the political earthquake fuels a much broader spiritual, political and social cultural rethink in the country. Last month, Gay Pride was celebrated in schools, even primary schools. Our children are wearing rainbow colours and donning and donating to LGBTQ charities. A normality that paraded through the streets of London on Saturday, where thousands marched for Gay Pride, iconising fetish behaviour. Men dressing up as puppy dogs in leather, and all the elites seemingly desperate to be seen alongside them. Politicians, the police, the military, media personalities, and even some parts of the church, we the Christian people of our nation need lovingly to assert another truth. Williams also added, only Christianity can provide a safe and secure moral foundation for our nation. It is Jesus who has the power to transform lives and change nations. Radical obedience to his commands will lead the nation forwards. So, yeah. And the more I've been digging into this group, the more crazy they just get. And the more laws and insane stuff they just generally want to cover. It's insane. And they're right. Undoubtedly, this group is just going to move on to the next legal battle that will get them some spotlight, because they don't really care. And even you have here the family's former lawyer, who they switched from, said, look, they don't have the child's best interests at heart. They even said in their opening statement that Alfie's best interests are irrelevant compared to the wishes of his parents. You know, this is absolutely insane. But there you go, and that's who has been behind all these protests. I'm not going to start permanently covering these people, but my God, they are insane. And, you know, people think we should be worried about Islamic extremists. I think we should be worried just as much about Christian extremists as well, because I don't want to live under Christian theocracy. But yeah, these people are insane. But here's the thing, guys, and I said this at the end of my last video. Just because this Christian extremist group exists and that it represents really less than 1% of the total Christians in the UK, I am not going to paint every single Christian as if they believe what this group thinks. I am not going to do that. You know, because I can do that compared to other people when it's Muslims and, you know, they can't see the forest for the twig in their eye. But, you know, there you go.